Art teachers of Reddit. What's you draw anything you want story? Not my story, but seems to fit here. When I was in school, to certify to become a teacher, we had a former principal as a professor for one of our courses who was trying to illustrate how difficult it can be to manage parent complaints and how to approach those situations with administration. His example was how he had been called into a conference once with an angry mom and the elementary school art teacher. The mom was furious because the teacher had asked the children to close their eyes and draw whatever came into their imagination. His assumption was that a student had drawn something inappropriate. Nope. The mom was mad because summoning an image in one's mind was witchcraft. Summonus Imagius. I got in trouble once for drawing a pooping butt. Little did my teacher know, but the drawing was actually a poorly drawn butterfly that ended up looking like a hairy pooping butt, and when asked why I put the details I did like the legs and antenna and proboscidea coming off the segmented body, I said I dunno. Don't they all look like that? I saw one at recess and thought it was pretty and wanted to draw it. Thinking of the butterfly, of course. Nope. I ended up having to see the school counselor. Never assume what kids are trying to draw. Always ask. In early middle school, we did a project where we used cardboard draped in colorful paper mache to make a sound word, like wham or crinkle. I was really into knights at the time, so I made the word that was the sound of someone unsheathing a sword. That word was sklang. Apostrophe. Ah. Yes. The sound of unsheathing your sword. Mein Gottlord. My brother was told to draw an animal from any angle he wanted, so he drew a dot and said it was a very far away lion. I love that. It's not drawing, but I gave my high school kids a poetry assignment. They could write about anything that was school appropriate and have one curse word that wasn't a slur or the F-bomb. It had to include so much figurative language. ECT. Girl turns in MS. My name is a bitch. A poem about how she's tired of writing poems and that she's annoyed with me for assigning so many includes all requirements. I have her a 96, a few errors, and the next poem she writes is MS. My name is a cool bitch about how she was sorry she was mean. Solid response. Sometimes the only way kids feel comfortable airing their grievances is through their creativity. High school 1977. Not a teacher. While everyone else was drawing Pink Floyd rainbows and peace signs all over everything, the biggest burnout in the class made a white metal bracelet with intricate triangular designs cut out of it. He turned it in and got a great grade for the first project he ever bothered finishing, and some well-deserved praise for his effort. Teacher handed our work back, and first thing he did was grab a pair of pliers and bent all the triangles outward, making it a thick metal spiked bracelet. I found that devilishly, disturbingly clever. A lone punk rocker in a sea of hippies. As a kid was told to do a drawing that was gonna be put on a plate. Drew my cat doing a poo. I was asked multiple times if I wanted to redo it. I declined the offer. So most of my life I ate off a plate with my cat on it doing a poo, as it was my plate. And still do. My siblings had similar plate with a car and a rocket ship. Mine is clearly much better. Was around 5 or 6 at the time and totally worth it. Still have the plate. Edit picture https://imga.com/gallery/pj3g2b6. 2000 years later, an ancient artifact. It seems to be the replication of a feline defecating painted onto this plate. Clearly it has ritual significance. Narrator on the History Channel. Is this plate part of an ancient alien cult? What mystery is lying this defecating feline? Was it some form deity? Cut to old historian in his study. I've spent my life studying this plate. It's truly a unique relic from the 21st century. Its mystery might never be uncovered. Student here. My art teacher was somewhat crazy. She let us draw anything we want, and to get 100% all you had to do was tell her it had a deep connection to the earth or some other nonsense. I drew a jellyfish and told her it represented wisdom because it was immortal. I like to imagine one day she will just see a documentary on jellyfish and learn that they can't really learn or have wisdom and just have this epiphany that kid was just making shit up. To be honest, she's the kind of person that won't believe the documentary. She's very spiritual. I don't know how else to describe it. I have loads of stories about this teacher, they're hilarious. I know exactly what you mean, my grandmother is like that. Parent here, not an art teacher. In kindergarten, my son came home with a packet of finished assignments he got back from the teacher. One was a paper having them draw a body part with the prompt "here are my." Example given was feet. What did my kid draw? Butt cheeks. Drawing of the back of a person with two giant, well drawn, I might add, cheeks. My husband and I laughed our own butt cheeks off when we saw it. We kept the paper for posteriority. I laughed at the posteriority joke. Clever. One kid had to have a meeting with the principal, her parents and the art teacher because the art teacher decided that because this second grade girl only drew people without hands, the little girl felt powerless. All these adults question this child about the meaning of her drawings. She tells them, hands are too hard to draw. Apostrophe. I wanna see this art teacher's psychotherapy degree. Or they're like actual art. Any artist who isn't like savant level from age 6 knows the struggle of hands. Feet. Drawing the other eye. Knows the struggle of hands. Feet. Drawing the other eye. This guy draws. I felt the other eye in my soul. I ran arts and craft classes at a youth group for disadvantaged kids. Decided one day to give them total freedom. I just put out all the supplies we had and let them go crazy. Kids made some really cool works of art, all very colorful and creative. I was talking to one kid when another asked me to help him spell things for his artwork. I go over to his table with him and he's been making a card for a boy in his class at school. He tells me his friend's mum had just died from cancer and he wanted to make a card for him to cheer him up, but he couldn't spell anything he wanted to write. He was 13 years old and I had to help him spell out something like, "Dear, I'm so sorry about your mum, but I will always be your friend and here for you. Love." I had to help him spell his own name. He made the card totally unprompted. I feel for the guy. He was totally sweet and caring for his friend and really smart. He'd just not got the help he needed. Went home after and had a little sob. Edit. Hey guys. Thanks for the rewards. I really appreciate all the lovely things you have been saying. I'd just like to say that I really didn't do anything special here. I only helped him spell out a card. I wish I could have done more, but I was fresh out of high school and was only volunteering. I actually had been in one of the other youth groups they ran and been asked to volunteer in this one as they needed more hands. I left shortly after this for university. I reported the incident to my supervisor and she assured me he was getting the care and help he needed, but they could not tell me more for security reasons. He was the real hero here. I hope he and his friend are doing okay. Thanks again. Thanks for being a light in this world. My heart. Thank you.